It is a beautiful Friday. It is March 22nd. We have a 7-game slate today. You got Dagger and Jimmy J on the podcast. Check us out on Twitter at BudgetBallerDFS. We're going to take you through 7 games today. Got some interesting matchups. How you doing today, Dagger?
Jimmy, good morning. Good morning. What's going on?
Just another day in paradise. Little raspy voice from hardcore karaoke night. Really went in last night.
My man. Ready to get after today, man. Last night was kind of tough slate last night, and we're getting down to the end of the NBA season here, so we're getting a lot of injury news late, a lot of guys getting shut down for the year, but got a 7-game ahead of us. Some good value in here.
You know, say I was pumped. I hit pretty decent last night, but Reggie J not playing the fourth really hurt. But we can get right on in. It's a new day. It's a only early 7 p.m. game. We have Memphis and Orlando. Definitely have some injury news. What you got for me?
Yeah, a lot of guys out on Memphis' side tonight. Looks like Mike Conley's going to be doubtful. Avery Bradley's going to remain out. Jaren Jackson out. Kyle Anderson out. I think there was one more player, but I can't find him, so I think that might be it. For Orlando, Isaiah Briscoe out and Mo Bamba being out. So those guys, I mean, you weren't going to play them anyways. But the big news seems to be Conley. Conley's coming in doubtful.
Yeah, that's the big one. DeLon Wright always plays over 30 minutes, especially with no Bradley out. DeLon, I mean, someone's got to score for this Memphis team. And at 4,900, you got to believe that he's going to make his value. Same thing. The only other person I have written down for Memphis, I'm really not trying to play their scrubs against Orlando, but Valanciunas is at 6,600. He had a career game his last game, but like I said, someone's got to go out and score for this team, and he's still going to pull down boards, but you got to think he's going to get extra shots up with no Conley and no Bradley.
Yeah, for me, I really like your call on DeLon Wright. I think he's going to be the chalk play of the night for 4,900 at the guard position. I'm not really into taking shots on any of the lower other Memphis guys like Kabloko, Holiday, Parsons, even though they
just not worth it.
Joakim Noah, he's another interesting guy. Orlando doesn't really offer much depth off the bench for bigs, but he's another guy I don't really love. And the Valanciunas versus Vucevic tonight. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Okay, what about your boy Parsons though, man? 3,400. He put up 34 and 28 his last 2. You got to think that he gets minutes again today.
I mean, there's no depth down in Memphis right now. Everybody's banged up. And for 3,400, if you're going to play a GPP with a bunch of lineups, maybe Chandler Parsons is a guy you plug in there. And if a 5x, 6x is well in his future.
Yeah, no, I didn't even realize he was still that cheap. Especially with getting the minutes.
He was playing the end of that Houston game too, and they went in overtime after Harden went berserk in the last minute, and he was up.
Yeah, I don't know. Memphis, someone I might just be trying to avoid just because Orlando, Orlando's fighting to still get into the playoffs. They're a couple games out. What do you have for Orlando? I'm pretty big on Orlando because I know they're going to be going in today. Like, they're not taking any days off no matter who they're playing.
Orlando can't take days off. They're about a game out on Miami of that 8 seed and 2 games out of the Nets and Pistons at 6 and 7. So they're with 2 or 3 weeks left in the season here. They're right in shooting range of a playoff spot. You got to think your man Aaron Gordon could smash in this spot. His price has just gone through the roof now at 7,500, but there's not a lot of value at the forward spot. So maybe if you're going to go for a GPP full send Aaron Gordon 50, that could be a game tonight. And Vooch at 9,600. I mean, you can't hate Vooch at any slate, but his ability to stay in games past, the third quarter has been tough. The way they've been blowing teams out, trying to stay in the playoff race.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like I said, because they're just going full send on everybody. Another guy I wrote just because of the lack of depth on Memphis is, Jonathan Isaac, if you want to, for 5,300. They keep raising Augustine's price. He's up to 5,500, but he seems to be playing really well. Looks like I said, they're fighting for that 8 seed, so he's still going to play big minutes. They're already playing as if it's playoff minutes. They're really cutting down the roster time minutes down.
Yeah, looking over it one more time, I don't like anybody from Orlando. Their prices are just too high against a Memphis team that's really not throwing much talent out there.
Yeah, no, like you said, if I'm going to take a shot on someone, it's probably going to be my boy Gordon. He's been a monster lately. And I feel
He's
like
just
I
a
saw
very,
him out
very
of
good
the ball.
fantasy player. He's going to do a little bit of everything.
Like I said, even Augustin, just for 5,500, I know he's going to give me like 28 to 33. Well, that's like always seems to be his area. And if he balls out, he balls out. But who knows? I don't know who's going to guard him on Memphis.
No,
You have anything else from this game?
no, this game is a wash for me.
That's fair. I'm not always big on the early games either. But all right, moving on to our 7:30 games. We have Clippers and Cavs. I don't think there's really any in. Oh wait, no, there is. I just didn't write it down. What you got for my injuries?
I don't know what you got. Am I missing something?
I thought there was a couple questionable guys.
I
Nance and
mean, I
Thompson.
think
Those are
everybody
more of
that's
it.
over 6'7" on the Cavs is always going to be questionable until the end of the season.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they took everyone off the thing when I did my homework at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah, Kevin Love's questionable with a head injury. He smashed heads with Bledsoe the other night, and he had to come out in the second half. But he's on a minutes limit anyways on a team that's really not going anywhere. And then, as always, you got to watch your late news on Thompson and Nance. But other than that, the Cavs. This might be the healthiest they've been all year.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Now that I'm looking at it, well, let's start with the away team then. The Clippers. What are you thinking on Clips?
There's a lot of value for this team. If Cleveland can make a run and stay in this game, you might be able to steal a couple plays in the front end for the Clips. I mean, Danilo Gallinari for 7,000 flat kind of stands out to me as a guy that can 5x pretty easily in a cash game. And then of course you got the two-headed monster off the bench with Harrell and Lou Will. I mean, they just been absolutely smashing. Montrezl Harrell went out the other night, and I think he played like 6 minutes in the first quarter and didn't record a fantasy stat. In the second quarter, he had 20 by half. So between him and Lou Will, if games stay close, those guys are riding big time minutes. And one more guy that's kind of interesting, and he's always interesting, is Pat Beverly at 5,300. He's a guy that you can't really guarantee yourself 40, but he seems to find that 27 to 32 fantasy slot a lot. So on a night where we're going to be kind of stretching for guard value, especially at the point guard position, he could slip in there.
Yeah, no, I like that. I'm huge on Harrell tonight. I think he's just going to be a monster off the bench. 6,800. He just keeps putting up in the 40s. It's really a shame that he doesn't play like 30 minutes a game. I really don't know why they don't just give it to him either. Like, what's the point of playing Zubac when you have this guy here just absolutely eating and you're just like limiting his minutes? Danilo, I'm all about Danilo. He's just been on a roll lately. They're tied with 3 other teams. They can go up as high as the 5 seed if they bang down the stretch. And Danilo, he's locked in. He's playing great. Lou Will, I just cannot buy on Lou Will. Like, if you want to take a shot on him, go ahead. But I just there's days where he doesn't do that much and he shoots really badly. But then he always has that chance to put up like 65 like he did on OKC. But I don't know. I try to avoid Lou Will for whatever reason. I'm just not big on him. Anything else you got from
He's
the?
a bench guy.
No, I know he can be super effective, but something about him, I just do not like taking Lou Will. Like last game, he only put up 29. It was against Indy, but still, like that was a close game. Like that was an important game for them.
Indy's good on defense, so
Yeah, no, they are, but still. I mean, yeah, it's Cleveland, but I'm just not crazy about Lou Will. I never have been. With that, you don't have anything else on the Clips? Ready to move on to the Cavs?
no, yeah, I wanna swing over to Cleveland because there's a couple guys here that I know you like Chetty a lot, and now, I mean, Sexton's price has gone up so high. I don't even think you could play him in any game style. Never mind GPP or cash. I mean, for him to 5x, he would actually have to do something other than put the ball in the basket because he doesn't seem to
Yep.
do.
I literally wrote down it's like Sexton for 6,200 is ridiculous, and I'm gonna bet my money that Beverly's gonna be guarding him too, and that's just you mentioned that the other day. You don't like anyone if Beverly's guarding him.
At Bev defense is clamps. A couple guys. I mean, Brandon Knight continues to go out and 5x every night, but he's not. He's not, a chalky cash play. He's a GPP possible play against the Clippers. He might have Shea Gilgis early in the game. He has a chance to kind of go at him. Jordan Clarkson for 5,000 off the bench. Lou Williams isn't a defensive player, and neither is Clarkson. So that if they get in kind of a shootout here in the second quarter and and late in the third, maybe they could get you some value. And Larry Nance, I don't know what his role is, but the other night he played 23 minutes and he smashed 7, 7, 5, 2, and 2. So he had 2 blocks, 2 steals, 7.7 rebounds. So for 5,300, if he can get maybe Thompson will sit rest or if Thompson or Love split, Larry Nance at 5,300 might bring some value.
Okay, Thompson literally only played 12 minutes, so I'm not even worried about that. Like, he shouldn't even be playing at this point. Like, just rest for the rest of the season, man. Like,
I think it's an ego thing.
yeah, especially because he said that the East runs through the the Cavaliers at the start of the year.
Cold move. LeBron left a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I always write down Kevin Love, 7,700, not bad. You know he's going to go out and he's going to get his boards. It's just all about if he's hitting threes and scoring as well. Um, I wrote maybe take a shot on Knight, like you said, for 4,000. He's burnt me a couple times. Every time I take him, he seems to like only 4x, and it's just not worth it. But every time I don't take him, he puts up like 25, 30, and it just makes me so mad.
His best days are behind him, but he could still offer some value in a GPP where you need to pay down.
I mean, I guess you could take a shot on Nance. I do not like SETI today. I am not a fan of Osman at all today.
I was just thinking maybe the European matchup with Danilo.
No, I was just overthinking. You always finding the reason.
Gotta find a little niche.
But yeah, no, I'm probably fading Cleveland tonight. I'm not a big fan of Cleveland against the Clippers, even at home.
Yeah. For me, it's probably either Montrezl Harrell or full fade that game.
Yeah, no, I might take a shot at Harrell and Danilo, honestly. I'm going for a pretty balanced lineup tonight, just the way that the slate's forming out.
Injury news will create value in that game, I think, closer to roster lock.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Anything else from this one? I move on to one of the bigger games of the night.
No, we gotta get to this one. This one's gonna be a good one.
All right, another 7:30. They literally played just a day ago. OKC and Toronto. I think the only injury news is Kyle Lowry.
Correct.
Or what you got for me on OKC?
Russell Westbrook gave you 66 fantasy points the other night and played 44 minutes and fell on the ground maybe 100 times. But he's chalk. I mean, with no Kyle Lowry out there, they're traveling up to Toronto. But I don't know, man. There's a lot of overpriced stars tonight who might not play, and one guy that you know is going to be out there no matter what is Russell Westbrook. So he's going to be out there and he's going to be on the court a lot. And at 10-8, it's a steep price. But if there's anybody on the slate that's going to meet a 10-8 in the minutes he's going to get, it's going to be him. Paul George and Kawhi, that was an interesting matchup to watch, and George kind of laid an egg. He shot like 3 of 10 from 3, I think it was. But
yeah, no, he played really bad, man.
Yeah, and Kawhi kind of gave him that look on the baseline that everybody's talking about going viral.
Smirk.
Was pretty interesting, but that could be another matchup tonight where Paul George tries to get some revenge. He fouled out of the game as well, so his minutes were a little lackluster. And Steven Adams, I mean, he had 4 and 7 the other night. It was terrible.
Yeah, no, I just don't like touching Steven Adams. You know, it does not run through him whatsoever. He's not even grabbing boards anymore with George and Westbrook there.
Yeah, and one more guy that you can think about is we keep falling this 5,300 value, but Jeremy Grant.
Yep.
He had 9 and 14 the other night, and he played 40 minutes because he basically played a shadow of himself in Siakam. And if those guys go head-to-head for a while, maybe Grant could scrape you up a 5X.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I literally wrote down Grant for 5,300, take a shot. It's funny because I'm pretty sure I was talking smack about him. It wasn't about him at all, the game before this one. But
yeah, I got somebody on the other side that I can rub this right into you.
I already know what you're going to say, and that's hilarious because I wrote him down just for that. Russ, I said absolutely worth the 10-8. I feel like that's actually cheap for him. Like, I feel like he should be 11-1, 11-2.
He was, I think, plus 500 salary tonight from the other night.
Dang, but yeah, no, I didn't even write Paul George down. You know, I think Kawhi is just going to lock him up again. Like, Kawhi knows now. And Paul George is the type of player where he's going to come back and try to bounce back. But I don't know, man. They're in Toronto. Kawhi, he's probably the best on-ball defender there is, and Paul George is a great player, but I don't want to touch Paul George today. I just don't want to risk it with Kawhi on him. Kawhi just always he just goes into some crazy mode when he's in these huge games against huge players.
It's going to be tough to 5X at 9,700 price with Leonard on him.
And with that, that's going to bring us over to the Toronto side. So, I'm assuming we got to go back to the well with Van Vliet, right?
Yeah, Fred VanVleet. What did he get? Plus 600, I think. So he's up to 53 again, and that seems to be the golden price for DK tonight. But he played 40 minutes. Granted, the game went overtime. No Lowry. He's going to get there. He shot really well. He shot 8 of 16, which is a lot. But if you're picking him at 5,300 and he doesn't really do much else, you want him to shoot the rock. For him, the 5x this price, it shouldn't be too hard at all, especially at home. The home crowd kind of pushing this game should have a pretty high score on both sides. Van Vliet is a guy that I think you'd have to go back to. Danny Green is another odd duck. He played 36 minutes and gave you 38 fantasy points. He shot 5 of 9 for 3, so another guy took a lot of shots. He had 5 rebounds, 6 assists. So at 4,100, that could give you some value where you can buy up on a star. And I don't know how I'm going to explain this to you, but the other night when I sat here and I told you, what do you think about Pascal Siakam? And your response was, yeah, I really like that guy. And he comes out and he gives you 43 minutes of 33 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 21 shots.
Absolutely went silly.
64 fantasy points. Talk to me, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I really did not expect that out of Siakam at all. Like, and he's just on a different planet. Like, he took 21 shots. Dude hasn't taken that many shots in I don't know how long. It's been like 10 games.
But he was efficient.
He was eating. He made 14 of them. Like Grant's like OKC's a pretty decent defensive team. Like you probably had Grant on him all night. Grant is super long. He's a good player. Pascal just took him to town.
Do you think going back to the well tonight at 17,200 is going to give you what you want?
Well, it's funny because I'm going to talk about another player where I think it's worth going back to the well, but you just can't expect to get that again. Like I'd be happy with 40 out of him.
I mean, he could still 5x and get you there with ease.
But yeah, no, I'm a big man. I admit when I was wrong, and
that was like a 9.2x, man. He absolutely smashed that 6,800 price.
He destroyed. Like for 6,800, that's absurd. That's almost 10 times.
Yeah.
Other than I wrote down Kawhi too, just because, like I said, Kawhi always shows up for the big games. He's just one of those dudes where still shows no. He's Tim Duncan Jr.
Yeah, he's just another guy that he needs to do more all around.
Yeah, no, I feel, but with no Lowry, I feel like he does.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think you can 5x.
You have anything else from this game?
I do not.
All right, we are looking good on OKC Toronto. A lot of value there. That's going to bring us to another 7:30 game. We have Denver at New York. Denver's our only team on a back-to-back tonight. What injury news do you have for me?
As of right now, it's still early in the afternoon, so Denver could lose quite a few guys on injury management rest, but they don't have anyone listed. So I'm curious to see if late news gives some value to this slate. But for the Knicks, Dennis Smith's out again. Noah Vonleh's questionable, and I heard Trier's going to be out for a few weeks, so he's going to be out again. And Kadeem Allen was sick the other night in a spot that he could have maybe started and put up some points, but he looks to be back tonight, questionable.
That's good. You mentioned rest with Denver. I really don't think they've rested anybody like all year. They're fairly young, other than Millsap, and they're really fighting for that 1 seed. So I expect them to go full blowout on New York. Like I think everyone's going to play.
Yeah, I mean, if everyone plays, then this is going to be a really, really hard game to stack Denver players.
Yeah, like Denver just scares me because they're just so well balanced. Like obviously Joker can pop off. Millsap, I could see Millsap having a big game. Seems like the kind of game where he's just going to go out and get like 15 and 15.
I don't want to step in on you here, but I was actually looking at the lineup or the box score, and 4 players had 15 for Denver, and 8 players they played 9 total players against Washington, and 8 of them scored double digits. So
that's what I'm saying. Like they just move the ball around so well. They literally everybody on that team can score and create their own shot. Like Barton for 5,700 ain't bad. I mean, if they're gonna play that well balanced, obviously you don't want a star, but a cheaper guy like Barton, that's a good play.
Yeah, I mean, the real guy that stands out to me has got to be Gary Harris, and he's been at this lowly mid 4, high 3 price for feels like the whole season. But
Yeah, I took a shot on him one night and it didn't work. But he has the ability to just get wicked hot.
if he gets hot and shoots lights, they're gonna just keep feeding him.
Plus, I mean, yeah, he's put up 27 the last 2 games. That's fair for 4,500. We were still on a little bit more, but
Shooting the ball a lot too.
he's starting to like get his rhythm back, which is good because he's a great defender. It just sucks he's been hurt all year.
You have any interest in Murray at 6,300?
And then the whole playing an MSG thing, but just the way that Denver's sharing the ball, it's not worth it. I can't trust him to go out and put up 30 and 10 or something.
Yeah, I don't really like anyone from Denver at all, really.
Like they're just too well balanced. They're just one of those really good teams where they don't need to rely on a superstar down the stretch. Like whoever has the shot can take the shot.
Yeah,
And that's
and
what
then
makes them
Nick
so good.
Richards.
All right. Well, with that, I mean, it sounds like we're not huge on this game at all. But let's bring us to the New York side. Anything from New York?
The only real news that I have for you is that Kevin Knox played 48 of the 48 minutes the other night.
He didn't come out.
He did. I think he played exactly like 47
He
something.
did 47. Wow.
But yeah, he was out there for a very long time. And incredibly enough, he didn't make point per value.
He actually produced though. I mean, I hate Kevin Knox. I refuse to take Kevin Knox. Goes out and puts up 34.
It's tough, but
That was a good matchup too. Like Utah, like good for him.
yeah, he shot really well too.
I ain't taking him, but I literally only wrote down, Dotson for 5,500 with all these injuries is intriguing. Dude just loves to shoot the ball. Going back to my dog because he's definitely done me good in the past. He's also done bad in the past. But Hezonja at 3,900. If you want to take a stab at it, go ahead. The dude's gonna go out and shoot. Dude's gonna get some steals. Gonna grab some boards. Like he's terrible, but he just makes things happen.
Yeah, I like Hezonja, and the guy I really like the most from this entire game itself is my boy Mitch Robinson. They got to play him. He's long, he's lengthy. He just became I think like the Knicks' youngest block leader or something.
And he
But
did,
the
man.
guy off the bench is just smashing when he's getting minutes. I mean, he got 30 minutes against Utah, and he had 40 points, 14, 12, and 3 blocks. If this game runs away, I can see. We don't like playing anybody. That's like playing with fire when we play with Fizdale. But Mitch Robinson at 4,300. If he can promise us just a little bit of minute increase, I think he crushes at 4,300.
It just scares me. I don't get why he's playing. He's literally not even playing 20 minutes, and he comes out with 30 minutes. Like I literally hate Fizdale. It's so aggravating because I'm all about Mitchell Robinson. If he's going to play 25 to 30 minutes,
I don't even know why they bother putting DeAndre Jordan out there every night.
Yeah, no, Jordan. Like you're literally one of the worst teams. Why are you not just letting your young dudes play?
So I got Jimmy.
Same, yeah. No, I could truly care less about that game. I was going to take us. I was taking us to our 8 p.m. game. Another good game. San Antonio, Houston. A lot of value here. Any injury news you have for me?
This is another game that's going to be keep your eye on in the afternoon because both of these teams could pull the old Popovich. I'm going to rest my guy, you rest your guy. He's notorious for that. But as of right now, we seem clean.
Yeah, no. Again, I don't think they can rest them. San Antonio's tied with 3 other teams. So they go as high as the 5, as low as the 8 seed. In all honesty, you don't want to be the 8 or 7. You don't want to face Denver or the Golden State. So everyone's fighting for that 5-6 seed. So I think Pop's not used to being in this position. Usually they're already locked up into the playoffs. So I think everyone's going to play, and I am all in on DeRozan tonight. I don't know why. I just think DeRozan is going to bang for 8K tonight. It's a great matchup. Houston gives up a lot of points. They score a lot of points. It's going to be back and forth. And DeRozan just been rolling lately. I'm all for him. I don't usually take DeRozan, but today's one of them days. Like I said, it's a weird slate, different plays for me. The only other people I have written down for them, I'm not touching any of their guards, but Derek White for 5,300 really is the number today.
That's the number.
And I wrote down Aldridge just because Aldridge, he's one of those. He's not a sexy pick. He just always puts up points.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like LMA at 7,900. For some reason, Houston can't seem to rebound, even though Capella's a machine. I think they just shoot so many shots that they can't rebound them all. But I love your Colin DeRozan. I really think that he could 5x plus tonight. This is one of those games that it's a very, very good competitive basketball game that's going to reflect in the fantasy points. The only other guy that's interesting is Rudy Gay at 5,400, just because I think he's been coming off the bench. They've been starting my man Poyotl. But Rudy Gay had 38 the other night against Miami, which was another good basketball game.
Yeah, no, he just did a little bit of everything too.
If he comes off the bench, I mean, there's no one on Houston that's gonna be able to contain him.
Yeah.
But the two big plays for me are, it's gonna be hard not to stack Lamarcus and DeRozan in this game.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. Like I said, just the way this slate is lining up, I don't know. I don't know if you want to buy in on these super expensive guys. You have so many like $7,000 to $8,000 players, and if you get some of these 5,300s in, since that's the number,
Mm-hmm.
you could. Today's definitely a balanced lineup kind of night. I'm not going
Today's
to
a
be
great
scrubbing stars.
a cash bankroll player. This buys right into the kind of style we
Yeah,
like.
I know. Anything else you have from San Antonio? Like I said, I'm not touching any of their guards like Forbes, Mills, all of them. I'm just zero interest.
Yeah, no, not until they get injuries. I'm not there with any of their guards.
Cool. That's going to take us to Houston. I only have two names written down for Houston, and it's Harden and CP3. Definitely, but still, I mean, like I said, Harden, you can always play Harden if you want to play Harden. It's not a bad play. For today's slate, I don't know if I want to spend 11-4 on him. CP3 is not bad at 69, but I'm not trying to touch Capella. You never know what you're going to get out of him. He's been really inconsistent. For 7,400, if he was like 6,500, I'd be all in on him. But 74, just not crazy about it.
Yeah, Harden took 40 shots against Memphis. He had 88 fantasy points. It was all ooh and ah. He had a really nice run at the end of the game that sent it to overtime. But 11-4 is very, very steep. And like you keep reiterating that tonight there's a lot of value. And if you stay in that middle range, you could kind of make a pretty solid lineup. CP3 at 6,900 is kind of interesting though. If they play him, he had 41 minutes against Memphis. This could be a game where he kind of steps out and smashes a 7K price. And one guy I really, really want to get on, this guy Danwell House. I was all in on him the other night, and as were you. And he played 39 minutes, and he just seems to be terrible at basketball.
Oh man, dude, he did me what I needed him to do two other nights, and then figured I'll just keep going back to the well. They're not really raising this price, and he finally gave us $3,900 value.
Terrible.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that kind of ruined it for me. Like, I'm sure he'll have a decent game today. He'll go out and make his 6 threes, but he kind of lost my trust today. I don't want it.
One last thing before we move on is I'm not sure who San Antonio played last. I'm going to look right now, but whoever they played, I think, had a ton of rebounds. So maybe this is a spot where Capella could smash out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. If you want to take a shot at him, I'm not going to say no. I love take.
It was Miami, and I think Adebayo had a lot of rebounds.
Yeah, bam. That's going. That one's coming up next. That's a lot of injury news.
So yeah, maybe Capella at 7,400 because there's not a lot of center plays.
So never frowned upon. Like I said, yeah, center is wicked weak today. There is just not a whole lot. I might buy low on center today and hope that I just get some good value.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else from Spurs Rockets?
Now let's flip it on.
All right, we're moving on to 8:30 p.m. now. It's our second to last game. Heat and the Bucks. We got a few injuries on this one.
Giannis is still actually no, not questionable. He's moved to probable.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's playing today.
So he's going to have to get out there tonight because this is a playoff team and he's got to get back into some hoop shape. Winslow's coming back in with doubtful tonight, so fire up the dragon, I suppose. Bam Adebayo has a questionable, which is very interesting for center value if he sits out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
A few guys out for Milwaukee. Mirotic is done. Brogdon is done. And I thought there was one more, but it looks like okay, there he is. George Hill is probable now. So he wasn't really a guy you're going to fire up for min value, but he's probable.
Yeah, okay, starting with the Heat. I only have two guys written down, and one's going to factor in for injury news. Dragic's price is going up and up. It's still only at 5,800. That's very respectful. The Bucks, they give up a lot of threes. That's like their like one Achilles heel is they give up a lot of threes. And if Dragic's on, there's no reason he can't give us another 25-point night. And then it just comes down to if he's moving the ball around, giving us some assists and stuff. You always got to like Dragic. If Bam's out, do we take a shot on Whiteside for 5,000? I mean, they have to give him the minutes, right? They're not going to give it to like Derek Jones or something.
If Bam is out, I could see Whiteside being the biggest trap play of 2019.
Yes.
But
Okay, good, because I don't trust him either. I don't want to
I mean,
do
we're
it.
talking 5,000 salary for a guy that's getting double doubles off the bench in 19 minutes a night. It's crazy what his potential is. He's just for some reason a terrible ball player or something. I'm not really sure, but
He's a goofball.
if Bam sits, I mean, I'm sure Whiteside's own percentage is going to go through a roof on a night where centers are just such a tough spot. So if you're asking me if I play Whiteside if Bam sits, I almost have to tell you yes.
I mean, I'm not. I don't know. If someone else wants to take him, he breaks the slate. Props to you, but I just Whiteside can eat it. He can shove it.
Just he's just so big, and I don't think Miami can lay down in this game. They have to win.
And the other thing is Brook Lopez doesn't play in the paint. Like Hassan's going to be on him,
No,
and
I
that just
think
takes him away from the rim.
no, I think they just camp Whiteside in the paint and say block Giannis. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, preferably I'd just like Bam to play so I can fade the center's position at this game. But
Yeah. No, I am not feeling. I hope Bam just plays, and I don't even have to worry about this.
yeah, that's what I said.
Um,
I don't like Wade. I don't like Richardson.
yeah,
I don't
no,
like
Wade let me
Taylor.
down the other day, which means he's
I
going
don't
to
like
bang
them.
today.
Just Miami's isn't very appetizing for me until Winslow comes back, and they. I
Yeah,
mean, even Winslow's at 5,700 on a night where he's doubtful. So
yeah, no, man. Dude, I was hyping up D Wade against the Spurs, and he only scored like 11 points. Didn't even have an assist. Like,
he played 11 of the 12 minutes in the fourth quarter. He only played 9 minutes prior to that. So
yeah. So I'm sure he's going to like just get silly tonight because I don't take him. But hey, that's not my problem. Someone else can take a shot at him, which is going to bring me to the Bucks. With Giannis back, it switches up a lot of stuff. The only people I don't like Brook Lopez just because the Heat have some athletic, bigger men, so like they're going to be able to play with him outside. I have Giannis down, even at 11-3. If you want to take Giannis, I'm never going to frown about it. Like I said, I'm more of a balanced lineup tonight kind of guy. Middleton at 7,500 though, even with Giannis, he was on fire. He is still cooking. I don't see any reason to go away from Middleton.
yeah, Giannis last time he played Miami, he smashed 33, 16, and 9.
Yeah.
It was only a few days ago, actually. It was before the injury. So I personally, I'm gonna fade the 11-3 price because that's just way too much for me for a guy.
Yeah, not today.
But for a GPP, he could bust his slate apart if he's healthy enough after sitting all these games and this game stays remotely close. Giannis could go out there and put up another 50 plus with
Yeah,
ease.
I agree 100%.
I'm out on Middleton. His little run of terror is over for me. I didn't play him when he was hot, and I don't plan on playing him when Giannis is back.
Yeah, it's fair. I kind of built a lineup already.
7,100. That's incredible. He's gone up 1,000 salary in 4 games. I wouldn't touch Bledsoe with any slate at all.
Yeah, no, Bledsoe he's another one that can just suck it.
And Brook Lopez, I mean, he's just been crushing, but that's with no Giannis and against teams that stink. So
Yeah, he knows that they needed more offense, and he definitely took full on advantage.
before we step off, I just want to mention that DJ Wilson opened up a ton of value the other night. Played 29 minutes, got 29 points. So I just want to give a little shout out there. That was pretty impressive. He really saved at 3,100 the other night.
And then they boosted him up to 39 today.
Yeah, you can't take a shot at him with a healthy team, but
Yeah, no, not worth it. Even Pat, I don't want Pat today.
Pat at 4,300 is it's like Bledsoe at 71.
Okay, sounds like that's it for Heat Bucks. That's going to bring us to our final game of the slate. I think my favorite plays on this slate, and we have a 2-hour window from 8:30 to 10:30 for this game, so it's going to be a while. But Nets Lakers. What injury news do you have for me?
Well, we got LeBron, who's now questionable with a groin injury, which
Yeah.
was addressed before, but now they're calling it a groin, so the NBA doesn't fine him lots of money. Alan Crabb's still out. Josh Hart is questionable with a knee injury. And of course, Guitar Lance toe went through shoot around on Thursday. He's questionable.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about Lance.
Ball and Ingram out.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Ball and Ingram.
Oh yeah. We know that.
Gotta throw it out there, man. The BBB, just like the PPP.
Don't even compare us to them.
Hey, Jimmy, what do you got?
All right, we're getting into this. I'm not talking about the big baller brand. The Nets' favorite play of the night, no question about it. 8,300. You gotta love D'Angelo. He's going back to play the Lakers. That whole thing with Nick Young and Iggy, and they're like, "You're pretty immature. You just ruined our team chemistry. We're shipping you to the worst team in the NBA." And now he's an all-star. Brooklyn's going to be in the playoffs. LA's not going to be in the playoffs. How does D'Angelo not just, chuck up 30 shots and just get silly on them? Like you have to play him, right?
Yeah, D'Angelo is Whiteside trap status. Like he's gonna give you.
Don't say that because he is my dude tonight.
He is gonna give you 60 fantasy points, or he is gonna give you 27. I hate it and I love it so much.
And I hate picking him right after he had a career night, but like
for
he's going to
fantasy
the Lakers. Like the
purposes,
Lakers did him so dirty, and now he's the one laughing. Like I am in on D'Lo tonight.
for actual basketball and in the story of the NBA, D'Angelo Russell puts up 60 tonight and he just crushes the Lakers. But for fantasy purposes, the Lakers lose this game by 30 if LeBron doesn't play, and Russell only plays 27 minutes, and they get back on a plane and they come back east.
Okay, thanks for just ruining it for me.
It's tough, Jimmy. If LeBron plays tonight, 100% chalk Russell, 8,300. He's in my lineup.
I'm playing no matter what. I don't care. Don't care. I'm going to take my shot.
I like it. No, I like the confidence. Let's move it down though. What do you think about Jared Allen? He's a guy.
He's the only other dude I have written down for the Nets. Jared Allen. He's your dog. I don't see why not. Like he always seems to put up at least his value, and if you can get any more out of him, it's just a bonus.
Yeah, he's up on his normal price, 5,500, and he only played 21 minutes against Sacramento. But I can see this game with JaVale McGee being kind of the same build, both of them going out there and maybe a double easily for Allen if he plays minutes. The center position tonight is so tough, but
It is.
Jared Allen is in a position where I could take him with confidence.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I totally respect that. He's right around like that's supposed to been the area today, man. 5,000 to like 5,700. Everybody.
I don't want to step on you here, but I do want to swing it over to the Lakers side and talk about a guy that you wanted to play the other night. I think it was KCP. Can you fill us in on that one?
Oh, I'm still so mad. Like I would have cashed. I ended up missing the money by a little bit. Talked about Caruso. Caruso kept doing great. No LeBron. You think he's going to play more minutes? He's going to put up some more shots. Dude, Caruso just absolutely broke my heart. And I swear on my life, I'm not going to lie when I say I had 300 left in the bank. I think Caruso was 3,600, and KCP was like 3,900, and I just could not pull the trigger. It's like a cardinal sin to change your lineup last minute, and I just watched KCP just put up point after point after point, and you know what? It would have been an extra like 35 points for me, and
he shot 8 of 14 from 3.
And it's funny because I don't have anything else on the net, so we can switch to the Lakers. I literally wrote down KCP for 4,400. If LeBron's out. If LeBron's out, you can take KCP. Just don't expect that to happen again. But I still think you're going to get your value out of him. Like he's going to put up shots.
Luke Walton.
I hate picking dudes that are cheap after they bang. But the dude, I didn't realize how young he is, and like he's just going to keep putting up shots. I still wrote Caruso down for 4,100. Like, don't give up on him yet. I mean, he turned me off. makes me really mad, but there's no reason to think, wow, he's going to lay another egg like that. The dude's been playing good. He's been very consistent.
I'm getting some Fizdale-esque out of Luke Walton over the last few games, and it's why is Rajon Rondo playing 40 minutes in a game that means absolutely nothing? He gave you 40 fantasy points. I guess he's somebody that you could go back to at 6,400 against Russell.
Well, I think it's just who else is going to play point guard, like if Josh Hart's out too.
Caruso, he every time Caruso got over a certain minute amount, he was banging.
Because I wrote down Rondo for 6,400, as long as he isn't playing one of his lackadaisical days, if he's going to give you at least 10, 12 points and, another 12, 13 assists, nothing wrong with that. He's going to grab some boards. Dude I do like tonight, just for whatever reason, he was in no man's land, and now he's back to, like, playing great minutes. But JaVale for 5,200, you got to think, right?
JaVale against
because Brooklyn's so bad against the center.
Is this a double center stack, JaVale versus Jarrett, and hope that the team just missed a ton of shots? No, but JaVale, if LeBron comes back, JaVale might be a really, really, really good play. LeBron loves throwing the ball to this guy around the rim.
No, he does. I mean, dude's just an athletic freak. I know he's always on Shackton and, like, he actually got his feelings hurt, but JaVale does it.
He's not a good ball player at all, but his size fits the sport great.
All I'm saying, doesn't JaVale have, like, almost as many rings as LeBron?
No, he doesn't, Jimmy.
I think he has one less.
Can I ask a serious question? What is wrong with Kyle Kuzma? Is he hurt?
Dude, he has to be. I don't know what it is. Or, I mean, maybe he's just heartbroken that LeBron doesn't want him. I don't know.
He was a walking 40 for a long time, and now it's just like, all right.
He's definitely either not healthy or he's one of those dudes like, oh, we're out of the playoffs. This year sucks. I don't care.
Here's 35 minutes and 15 shots a night, and he's returning nothing for you. So 6,500, a GPP. If you're playing GPPs, this guy has got to be in your lineup because if he has any return of value, it's going to be smash.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to take a shot on him. Like if he was like around 6,000
lineup, Kuzma's got to have a big percentage for you. But other than that,
6,500, I'm not crazy about it. Yeah, there's dudes that are like in the 5,000s with a way better ceiling.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, he's getting 35 minutes and taking 15 shots. But yeah. LeBron's gonna play tonight, according to some of the inside Laker guys. So.
I can see that's just the type of guy LeBron is. He doesn't want to sit unless he absolutely has to. Anything else you got from this game, or?
I really like the slate value wise.
Yeah, 100%. That's been like the motto today.
But I don't have like any really lock plays unless if LeBron's going to be in, then you got to play Russell.
I'm playing him no matter what. I don't care what anybody says.
Spencer Dinwiddie has something to say to you.
Nah, dude. That's the only thing that does scare me, dude. If Dinwiddie decides to like have one of his 40-point nights, like just.
No, I really think Kenny Atkinson is a guy that's going to say, Jello, we know what this game means to you. Let it rip.
Exactly. Like I'm praying. Well, okay, then that is our slate. It is time for the Penny Pinchers morning rundown. We're going to give you our favorite and our least favorite plays for the stars and the scrubs. So, superstar play of the night. I'm going D'Angelo. I don't care what anybody says. That's my dog. I'm going first, so you can't even take it. Like,
yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
Because I know he's not yours regardless. So who you got going for your 8K plus player of the night, superstar?
Well, I'm gonna kind of feed off of you here, and you really were after this one, but I think DeMar DeRozan. It's coming around playoff time.
Yes,
and he always went to the playoffs with Toronto, so he's a great actual basketball player. But at 8,000 flat, and we're running out of plays over 8,000 because there's only a really handful of guys. But
it's been weird last two nights, man.
Yeah, somebody that really stands out to me is DeMar DeRozan at 8,000 flat. I think he smashes.
I do. It's going to be a fast-paced game. He's going to have like Harden or Gordon on him. Like
this might be a DeRozan triple-double night. Triple-double watch.
I mean, maybe. Just doesn't get the boards.
Don't sleep. He had 15 boards against Miami. 15.
Okay, that's wild.
A team that shoots a good percentage and plays a slow half court. What's he going to do against a team that takes 53 pointers a night?
You're right. I'm sorry. I just don't like because DeRozan's only had like one triple double in his life, and it was his.
Yeah, it was against Toronto.
Yeah. Okay, who is your superstar bust of the night?
like we keep going back to the well, and there's no stars out here, but I don't want any LeBron tonight. No LeBron for me.
I thought you were going to say mine. Thank God, because last night
No,
sucked.
when I
Trying
looked
to
at
figure
this
it out.
last night, and the first thing that came to mind was LeBron playing, this weird role of not wanting to play, hating the Lakers, wanting to play basketball sort of thing. And
Yeah,
at 10-3, and I wish he was Anthony Davis price, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah,
I took you know, it's a risky pick that bust for the night, but because what are the chances that he does bust twice? But I think Paul George is gonna just stink it up again tonight. He's going against Kawhi. Kawhi just he really shut him down, and now they're on the road. I don't think Paul George plays well again tonight. I ain't touching Paul George. And again,
yeah,
when I say like Paul George for his price, I'm expecting 50 out of Paul George. There's no way he might get me 35, 40, but he ain't getting me no 50.
here's my only thought on Paul George. The shoulder might be banged up, so that could be why his fancy value is going down. But if there was a MVP, like Giannis had his the other day against Philly,
Yeah, he
he
did.
just smashed. If and Harden came out last night and had whatever 60 something points and 88 fancy. If there was a game where Paul George is gonna put his hand in the mix for the MVP, it's tonight.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely his time, but it's not my time for Paul George.
I might just have to take him to spite you.
You know what? That's exactly what you should do because it's the type of thing I would say where it would just totally eat my
Smack.
words.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you're welcome. There you go. There's your
There it
70 burger. All right, who's your bargain of the night? Under 5K play.
Under 5K to 5X, you're probably going to be a little upset at me, but DeLon Wright.
Oh, okay, I wasn't gonna take that.
Okay, good, good. Now I don't feel as bad because I would have moved on to somebody else. But yeah, DeLon Wright at 4,900 against Orlando. DJ Augustine is I don't know. He plays okay defense, and if Memphis is gonna have anybody play, it's gonna be DeLon Wright who played 42 minutes the other night, and
The
he
only thing I hate this is gonna be like the slowest game of all time in
yeah,
NBA
yeah,
history.
no, for sure. But he asked Toronto to move on because it's just his role wasn't what he wanted as a basketball player. And
Yeah,
here it is. Here's your limelight.
I can't blame him. He was the third string. He's not bad. Like when he does get minutes, he puts up 20 something points.
Yeah, I think tonight we could see a 30 plus.
I took my dude again because I'm gonna bank on him, man. He screws me sometimes, but Hazonia, man, for 3,900. I think
And
Hazonia is just gonna be chucking shots up on Denver, and hopefully he just makes like half of them, and I'll be so happy.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All right, who is your 6X play of the night?
A lower tier guy that or anybody, right? Anybody that smashes
It
six
could
X
be anybody. Yeah, it don't matter. Just who's your lock for 6X?
lock. Uh, this one's tough because the slate is so hard, but I don't want to miss anyone. I guess if you have one, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a little pricier, and he's been hovering right around that number. But I'm willing to bank my money on that. He's going to bang tonight. I'm taking Montrezl Harrell, dude. I think he's 6X's tonight. I think he's
It's
just going
actually
to
right on him when you were going there. I like that too, but I'll find somebody else. Keep going.
really never take Harrell, but today's the day. Today is the day. I don't know. Harrell did screw me one time, but he's just on an unreal run lately.
Yeah, I mean he's
Team like Cleveland,
right
he's
there.
going to be all over the place.
All right, I think I'm gonna go with Van Vliet. I've been riding him since
I
when
like it. That's
Kawhi's
cool.
out. When Kawhi is out, he crushes, and when Lowry being out again, and now instead of being in Oklahoma City on the road, he's at home. I think tonight he picks up. He wasn't really ball dominant in this first matchup. It was more of like Siakam, and Siakam just smashed. But I think now they go back to a traditional point guard, and Van Vliet could hover around, maybe a 15 and 10 or 15 and 11, and really get over 30.
Van Vliet, definitely a safe play. I like it. No Lowry. Van Vliet, he's just another smart player, man. Just
Wakita
hits it.
State, baby, Wakita State, March Madness.
Yeah, right. Like it's his time to shine. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap for us. Check us out on Twitter again. We have our Budget Baller DFS as our handle. I hope you guys go out and bang tonight. Trying to work off of last night. We did really well last night. Any last words from the Dag?
No, this is a great, great, great value cash game bankroll slate. Keep an eye on injury news though. End of the year, you could
Yeah, dude,
find a
just be
lot of
rested.
value in the afternoon.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That's what I hate about working during like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's tough. There's a lot of late injury news.
But hey, that's it for us today. You guys go out and bang. Enjoy the day. I know it's beautiful on the East Coast, at least in the South it is.
It's raining here.
That's all I say. Come on down. Charlotte's popping. All right, guys, we will catch you maybe tomorrow. If not, definitely Sunday.
Gotcha. Later, Jimmy.
Catch you later, Dagger.